Joe, and good evening everybody. This is it, the culmination of 17 days of hard match-play snooker. John Higgins was always in front.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
He's in front no more.
Frame 25, John Higgins to break.
And I think the big question is, Stephen, what has he got left?
Well, I think the first frame tonight is absolutely huge for John Higgins. He's taken such a battering over the last session, and at the end of last night's session. If he loses his first frame, I worry for what he does have left.
Yes, of course. Shoes.
Leads by 2, but how often has this final session produced a twist in the tail, and might it do so again for John Higgins? Let's find out, shall we? In the company of John Virgo and Stephen Hendry. Good evening.
Good evening, Hazel, and good evening everybody. This is it, the culmination of 17 days of hard match-play snooker. John Higgins was always in front.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
He's in front no more.
Frame 25, John Higgins to break.
And I think the big question is, Stephen, what has he got left?
Well, I think the first frame tonight is absolutely huge for John Higgins. He's taken such a battering over the last session, and at the end of last night's session. If he loses his first frame, I worry for what he does have left.
Yes, of course. Shoes on the other foot now. Mark Selby was playing catch-up. There you see the pot success, which is probably the reason why he's now 2 frames in front. But John Higgins, you just got the feeling when he was in front, we kept looking over his shoulder. And maybe just thought, keep it tight and I'll scrape a few frames together. It wasn't to be. And I suppose, if anything now, John Higgins is the one that can just maybe relax a little bit. He knows he's got to play well.
Yeah, and I'd like to maybe be a bit more aggressive tonight. I think he got sucked into a containing safety game with Mark Selby. The thin contacts of the pack, not bringing any reds, just making sure you weren't leaving anything rather than trying to force the issue. He's much better when he's an aggressive player.
Looked at the pot, decided it was too risky. This could be a good cue ball if it runs.
Coming up there over 45 minutes since he's potted a ball, John Higgins. If they'd have kept playing this afternoon, that probably would have gone on a lot longer. But he's had the break, had the chance to regroup. Can he come back fighting tonight?
Looking to take this red on. May feel the only red he could leave is the one he's playing. But right in the heart of the pocket. Nearly got into that too much. Just watch the cue ball here, got very close to the middle pocket. Which is why he's not perfect on the blue.
He'd love to play for the red and the black spot, but he may just play the cue ball to this cushion to leave the red closest. Now he's gone into them. This could go wrong. Took a bit of a risk there.
6.
Yeah, he was more or less hoping to be on a red. Anyway, this red cuts. And just about got the right side of the blue. But as Stephen said, he'd love to get that red that seems to be occupying the black spot. Maybe it isn't. Maybe there's enough room. There's two reds on the left-hand side of the table, easy to play on. And that's what he's decided to do. Maybe there's room for the black, and that red's not
12.
occupying the black spot. We'll take this opportunity just to build up a useful lead.
13.
Just what he was looking for. First chance.
Exactly the opposite of what his opponent was looking for.
19.
49 points from here. We're getting to the snooker's required stage.
20.
So that's the red he wanted rid of, but it's hard to see where the next one's coming from, and he looks to be pretty straight on this black.
Yeah, just at first glance, the only one I can see is the one that's on the outside of the cluster. That would go to the far left corner. He's not looked at that yet. He's looking to screw on and off the side cushion. But this could go wrong quite easily.
Yeah, I'd love to make contact on the two reds below the pink. Perfect.
Yeah, got the cannon. But probably still a little bit of work to do with the cue ball here, unless, as we watch that again, a little bit of left-hand side just to bring the cue ball out in the open. I don't know whether he can play a cannon on the black or run around the back of the black here. It's not a straightforward pot and position, it doesn't look like. Well, in the end, he didn't like it.
35.
And he won't like this, because he's on nothing.
Yeah, wanted a much thicker cannon on the red after potting. The red he was playing. Send the cue ball back up the table.
Declare your colour, please, Mark. Thank you.
Probably heard referee Jan Verhaas say, declare the colour. I think you can just
Yellow.
sneak... Oh, you can get through to the yellow.
Mark Selby, 35.
35, but didn't make the most of that opportunity. That may give John Higgins a little bit of heart, but being 35 points behind, he's got to get the next chance. If Mark Selby gets it, surely it's frame over. Can he get this cue ball in behind the yellow? Needs to miss the brown. That's no good.
Didn't expect him to miss that, the way he started and the way he finished the afternoon session.
Yeah, but just obviously put a little bit of left-hand side, and because he hit it a little bit harder than he expected, pushed the cue ball into the red, and that's why he caught it too thick. So he's given John Higgins an unexpected chance here. He's got to play well now as John Higgins. There's no room for error. Judged it nicely. The only problem is he's straight or just off straight the wrong side. I'm not certain where the next red comes from. Just overran it by a couple of inches. There you see, just the wrong side of that blue line.
Yeah, he can't even follow through the cue ball and play the red that's closest to the left cushion because the yellow's in the way. Well, I said he needs to be aggressive, and if he's taking the pink on, that's exactly what this is.
Well, he won't play many more bigger pressure shots than this.
Absolutely brilliant. That's what he needs to do tonight, John Higgins, for me. He needs to take the game to Mark Selby.
What a brave choice that was. So difficult and right in the heart of the pocket. Deserves everything he gets now.
Yeah, under the circumstances, this is one of the pots of the final, if not the tournament.
40.
We've seen some fantastic shots played, but when you take into consideration what's at stake, if he missed that, he'd have been 3 frames behind.
50.
Cleverly nudging the red off the cushion. I think the black goes. He's on the black. He's not going to be pleased with that. I'm surprised he stunned it, really. Looked to be better choice to have rolled it in.
Yeah, I think that was adrenaline possibly there. Just wanted to stun run through, just wanted the cue ball just to come through an inch. Would have been fine. Just got into it too much. Purely adrenaline. Let's end the break. Look at where the reds are as well. Be so disappointed John Higgins playing a safety shot now.
John Higgins,
Maybe
20.
because of that disappointment, frustration, has played a very poor one.
Well, in the third session, Mark Selby's long pot success was 92%. So you make him favourite to knock this one in. Solid. And maybe the chance that John Higgins had to win the frame has now gone.
Not the cleanest of pots there, but it's in. Just pops this off the right hand jaw of the
8.
pocket. Fortunate for that to go in, really. Yeah, John, is obviously that
No.
chance to win this frame. Is that the chance to get back in the match going with that chance?
You see it, 28 points ahead, 59 remaining, so he's going to need 3 of these remaining 4 reds. And he's just got to be careful in potting this red that he doesn't run into the red that's near the top cushion. He's got to screw past that for position on pink or black. With the extension on the cue. It's not beyond the realms of possibility he could make a mistake. Got to avoid the kiss on the second red. Can't reach it with the extension. Got to use the rest. Controlled it beautifully.
16.
This black will put him 36 points in front. Another red and a black would get him to the snooker's required stage. There you see it, 36 ahead, 51 remaining. Once he pots this red, there will only be 43 remaining, and if it's followed by the black, he'll go 44 points in front.
$24.
It's an amazing comeback, this, when you consider he trailed by 10 frames to 4.
31.
And now he's going 14-11 in front.
32.
Last 11 frames, he's won 10 of them. And there's no way back to the table now for John Higgins. Potted an absolute superb pink, but unfortunately couldn't capitalise on it. It's not dropped.
37.
I don't think John Higgins will be coming back to the table. He won't. Where's his next frame coming from? That's the question. As Mark Selby now goes 3 frames clear. 14-11.
And for those of you who are just joining us on our final night, hello, you are most welcome to be with us for this fantastic final evening. And I know that I asked you to settle in and relax, and many of you have been doing just that. In fact, Mrs. D tweets us to say snooker salad at the ready. It looks lovely, I must say, but I think you might be a bit hampered there. You get it? Never mind, it was weak. Hey. And I certainly know that breadstick would not be lasting very long in our house with a little girl around. But for those who are just joining us, this story of the final has been an extraordinary one, because yesterday it was John Higgins who was making all the running, John.
Yeah, and he led 8-3 and he led 10-4 and he was in total control and he missed a shot in the next frame, and since then Mark Selby has just dragged something from somewhere, won the last 3 frames and has just been absolutely fabulous today. It's fair to say he's getting a bit of help. John, has not been at his best, and he made a very poor positional shot in the last one, Steve, didn't he?
Yeah, he looked like he's amongst the balls, but he just put a bit too much into that cue ball, and he's ended up over the top of the pink. Had to play safe. Safety shot wasn't great, and then Mark Selby locked in a fantastic red, and Mark Selby's in the ascendancy, and what a comeback this has been.
4 more required for the defending champion to join a very, very select group of players who've won it back-to-back. He would, if this continues, become only the 4th in history to do it at the Crucible.
Yes, and it'd be hard now to think that he couldn't do it. John Higgins, well, he had a chance in the last frame. He's got to start scoring. Possible pot here. If you're going to miss it, err on the side of hitting it too thin. But at the moment, he can't stop hitting the ball colour with his safeties. Well, he can certainly get through to pot this red. The only way he'd turn it down is if he didn't feel as though he could get position on the colour. Oh, played it delightful. The drag shot. Played it lost the bottom, not even a hard. Adjusted to absolute perfection.
Yeah, clever shot really, because the way he's played it, the only red he could have left, possibly one to the far right corner, but he thought the only one he could leave was the one he played. Not got the best angle in the black though. The 2 reds above the black. Both go to the right corner, but you really have to force the cue ball to get on that.
No, didn't work out.
8.
Stephen said it was always going to be difficult, because by the time the cue ball was travelled off and on the cushion, it's not got a lot of pace left in it.
Mark Selby, 8.
Well, he's played better safety shots than that now. John Higgins playing an attacking safety here. An attacking safety is playing it so you open up the reds. Good target, the brown, to aim for. Decent line. Bit too pacey though. This looks a good cue ball. can't get through to this one to the corner. And it's not an easy nestle to the main bunch, and the reason that being because there's a couple of loose reds that you could leave on and be fearful that you could leave them on. I mean, he's thought about the 2 cushion escape, but if he doesn't catch him just right, he could leave a red on. The 1 cushion, he could leave one of those 2 reds just below the pink. Not a straightforward escape, this, by any means. Good hit, but he's going to leave a red on. He's left the red on. If it doesn't go to the right middle, it'll certainly go to the far right corner. And considering that excellent shot, you'd be so wary when playing that shot that you might just hit the red and flick the pink. Okay, he's not the right side of the blue, but he's got a red on the right-hand side of the table. And he can play that for that and get nicely on the black. It's a decent opportunity, this.
I'm sure he played for the red below the pink there. Wasn't the most positive strike of the cue ball. Can play for blue, pink or black with this red.
Seven.
Well, it's not straightforward, this next positional shot. Everything's covering each other to the right corner. It's really got to get into this cue ball here. And he struck that very well. Plays those screw shots better than anyone in the game. Really timed that beautifully.
13.
I want to play that one again.
Yeah, another careless positional shot. He's that bad on the blue, he's looking at the yellow. This would be some shot.
Mark Selby, 14.
Well, you can see what happens when you work across the ball there, Stephen. Hey, mate, that was a wide.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You won't want a video of that shot. Come on, John, what have you got left?
when you're playing catch-up like this, you've got to play well. You need a bit of help from your opponent, particularly at this level. And this was an unexpected chance.
Nine.
Perfect. Now, pot the black. Don't have to hit it too hard. Cannon into the cluster. Should still be on the red that the cue ball's close to. He's opened them up. Now, can he get
16.
to cue this red? If it's straightforward position off the red, it's not a problem. I think he may have to go for the spider here. Can he reach it? Just about. Now wants an angle on the black. He's got one. Just asking for the cue ball to be clean, but looks like a nice angle. The only slight problem is the yellow. He's just where he'd like to put his bridge hand. Goes to the right corner. And he looks to have landed on it perfectly. Oh, no, don't
25.
do that. Oh, these heavy contacts, when will it ever stop? Unlucky.
I mean, that's just heartbreaking for John. I mean, look at that. As if he's played a stun shot. That's horrific.
Yellow ball. John Higgins, 25.
This is when a good match temperament comes into its own. I mean, it's hard enough for John to get back in this match without that happening, but he's going to try, if he can, to put it out of his mind. Try and stay positive, try and still believe.
Control the object ball nicely there. John needs to reply with a good safety of his own now. Needs to miss the yellow. Needs to creep behind the yellow. And it has done. And after that, back contact when he's in amongst the balls, he deserves a bit of luck. Does it reach?
Foul. Gonna miss. John Higgins, full. Yeah.
No hesitation in having the cue ball put back. It's hard to see Mark leaving a pot on here, but once you finish short, you have a tendency to maybe sometimes overcompensate And he doesn't want to hit these reds too firm because he may just knock one on to the
Can you put it on?
middle pocket.
Okay.
So we're getting a bit of advice.
Hardly anything.
Paul Collier, scorer.
Yeah. Okay, Mark. John. Thank you.
Okay, they're all happy. Try number 2. Certainly hard enough this time. And a beautiful line. Good shot. Trying to get there by using side. He'll hit the pink, if anything.
Foul. And a miss.
A free ball,
Free ball.
but
John Higgins 6.
nothing to go at. These points, they all add up. They can make the difference in a frame, whether you need an awkward red near a cushion or not.
How's that, Mark? Yeah, John.
But John, desperately looking for a chance to score. Slid by them, has he? If he does, he leaves a red. There'll be no mistaken this time.
John Higgins 4.
At all full. Might be delighted with the result. Pink and black still in the open.
7.
Surely he's going to get a frame on the board. He'll get such a boost if he can get this frame.
.31 ahead, 67 remaining.
14.
3 reds, 3 colours. Should do it. Just stopped in his tracks. If he was straight on this red, he'd just run through for the black. But I don't think he wants to overcomplicate this. So deciding to play for the pink. The right hand of the 3 reds will definitely pot in the right corner, the same pocket as the pink. Just a little bit concerned where the pink will be when it's respotted.
$21.
Quick glance at the scoreboard. Red, colour, red required.
I don't know if he's got the angle just to drop in behind this red to leave it to right middle. Or is he going to try and take it off the cushion? He's playing the cannon. Oh, has he got the second cannon? I think only needing one more red. I might have been tempted just to try and drop in behind it there. Took a gamble.
Yeah, he's looking at the possibility of plant on these 2 reds. As Stephen said, he only needs a red. Is it worth the risk? It may consider it is, with that red being tight to the left-hand side cushion. He's eyeing up the plant. This red to go 46 points in front, with 43 remaining. Here we go. It was tough, but he thought it was worth the risk.
Higgins, 28.
He'd have gone in if he'd played it slower. It was the pace that kept it out. Chose to play it with an element of safety. That would have dropped it dead weight, probably.
Close. Now the last thing John Higgins will want to do is to bring that red away from the left-hand side cushion as we watch that. Just caught the near bump, and at that pace, not going to go in. Another half chance of a plant here. And the cue ball will be going back to the balk end, so you would think it's more or less risk-free. Well, in the end, he didn't. He decided just to play the good safety. It's a bit pacey. A bit pacey, left the red.
Oh, you wonder what John Higgins would have left to give if he lost this frame. Blue to maybe tempted to take the red off the side cushion here. That's blue. He's digging down, so he's going to play the open red first. It's controlled as well. That's a really good position shot. It really is. I'll say that. You maybe could have done
6.
Half an inch further.
Yeah, because you'd rather be potting the black into this pocket, and then you would have the awkward last red in your eye line. But he's got a nice angle on this black. He's going to try and nudge this towards the middle pocket. This will take some judging. This will take some judging. Just too far. Just too far.
14.
Will he be tempted? He's looking at the potting angle. Might be hoping if he takes the pot on and misses it, the pace he plays at, it might come away from the pocket, maybe go along the middle of the ball cushion. Go safe. No, he's not taking it on. He's back in the frame. If he can somehow get a snooker here, he could become favourite.
He's tempted though, isn't he? It looks a straightforward safety. Play the red twice across, but it's just the culture of the modern day game. Get a chance, try and win the frame. It's coming up to the minute thinking time. Safety or pot? I think pot. He's looking at the potting angle again. He's red cover and the 6 remaining colours. When he got so close, he's left it. He thought, as Stephen said, that if it got close, it'd rattle the jaws, run along the baulk cushion. It didn't. John Higgins just needs the red to go 32 points in front with 27 remaining. 2 snookers will be needed. So in goes the red. It's been a long time coming, this frame, but every comeback, every mountain you have to climb begins with one step. Is this the first step?
Yeah, it's just the injection of belief that he wanted, a bit of inspiration. He's not had much to date.
Seven.
Well, it's not gone in, but it won't matter. At last, John Higgins has stopped the rot, and he's got a frame on the scoreboard. Still trails by 2. 14-12, the defending champion.
Yes, the Higgins family with hearts and mouths, but that's exactly what John needed because he was struggling for a long time out there, John.
Yeah, it was a really good frame he played there, but come near the end, I have to say, it's not very often that you look at Mark Selby and you think, ooh, what shot did you play there? But that last red was very strange. He's played that, really, all his eggs are in one basket playing it this way, and that is far from an easy pot he's taken on. And the pace he's played that, he's guaranteed to stick it.
Yeah, I mean, like, if he misses it by further, he wobbles and goes safe. But you can't work out how he's going to go wobble and go safe. And he really did sort of give, I think, John Higgins a bit of light at the end of the tunnel there.
Yeah.
That shot. And when you've got your opponent on the ropes, what you do, you're advised to do is to make it hard for him to get back in the frame. The safety shot was very easy. He could have played the more aggressive shot and played it harder, and it may have wobbled and come away from the pocket. But that was, I think, giving John Higgins a bit too much of a chance to get back in it. And
well, in it he is, and let's just talk very briefly about John's longevity here because this is his 6th final, and it's 19 years after his first. Now that is a record here at the Crucible, and it's only a couple of years ago, John, he was saying that he was a journeyman professional. He's back up to world number 2 at age 41.
I know, it's a remarkable thing. I mean, I know how long he's been here. He beat me in 1998 when I was here, so I've been on the end of a couple of them here from him, but it's a remarkable turnaround. I thought he'd actually was struggling 2 years ago, and I understand why he was saying it. I thought his long game was struggling, he was lacking confidence, but for somewhere he's found it somewhere. His long game's still good, and his competitive spirit, well, that's never doubted, and his match play, well, that's always been top class.
And he's still in this final.
Well, first time I've seen it in this final. The break-off shot has left a cut to the middle. Caught the end red, too full. Yes, and in it goes, and if it stops short of the baulk line, which it will, disappointing when you break off and leave a red to the middle.
He's come in the middle of perfect on brown or green here to go into the bunch. Got to force this to play with a lot of pace. I think he's okay. The one at the bottom of the bunch pots.
5.
Done well there because there wasn't much pace in the cue ball going into the bunch.
Interesting.
Mark Selby, 5.
Yes. And I think there's a red will go here. The only problem is, where does the colour come from? He's going to really have to impart a lot of backspin on this cue ball to get it out of the reds. This was a surprising miss. Digging in, it's got to be accurate here, playing it with so much pace. Got into it. Got through the reds. Not good on the colour. On a good day, you'd have caught the pink half ball and it'd have been plumb for the left middle. Not today.
Blue ball. John Higgins, what?
Yeah, just another inch or two roll and it'd been tight up behind the yellow. The reds are spread. Next chance could be a telling one for either player.
Yeah, going back to the last frame, that red that Mark Selby missed, the one along the cushion, might possibly have thrown John Higgins a lifeline, but sometimes it doesn't matter how difficult a shot is, you just get down, you just fancy getting it, and that's why you play it, and I think that's the right way to think. He obviously fancied getting this, but as I say, got so close that it was always going to stay there.
Yeah, and I think it was the type of shot that 14-11 in front, you'd play it. If you were 14-11 behind, then you might have thought twice about it. We're all wise after the event. But as you say, I think he fancied it and he thought if it goes in, I'll win the frame. Does this red cut? It's thin. Oh, and you couldn't have said any thinner than that.
Well, watching John's reaction, I don't think he thought this was potable.
Ideally, he'd like to have been straight on this red and just been a formality just to roll it in, but he's got an angle, he can screw off a couple of reds and play for the pink to the left middle, you would have thought.
Four.
And the reds are nicely spread, this is a good chance. Once again, taking his time, deciding which route to take. Looking a few shots ahead. Now I'll be interested to see where the pink is available. And so is Mark. If it goes to the left corner, and it does, quite clearly. Couldn't wish the balls to be in a better situation than this. And I must say, Stephen, when I looked at the table when John played his safety, I didn't think that red was cuttable. When you notice how he played it with a ton of right-hand side.
Yeah, to be fair, I don't think John thought it was going to be cuttable. Or else he wouldn't have put the cue ball there. He would have just
11.
put the cue ball somewhere near the yellow pocket. He wouldn't have risked playing the snooker. I mean, again, if he misses that, he just leaves it over the pocket.
But it has been noticed, man, the difference in his attitude. Once he's got parity and then went a few frames in front,
17.
he's been a lot more attacking. he was behind, he was prepared to grind it out just to keep tabs with John and those 3 frames that we've spoken about that reduced his arrears last night to 3.
Yeah, today is after those last 3 frames last night, and today he's sniffing out weakness in his opponent, and he's pounced, and he's never let go. That's what he does.
Fraction too straight, but on these superfine cloths, well, he's going to play the run round off 2 cushions. But probably a little stunned, maybe 1 cushion. Well, he's gone the 2 cushion way. Okay, he's on the red to the left middle.
25.
Playing with top, so running up for a blue or bought colour here. Now he thinks he can hold for the pink. And he did, quite comfortably. Thought he had more of an angle than that. Another 32 points from this position to get to the snookers required.
$32. $33.
Nicely on the pink. Possible plant here, but maybe a red is available to the same pocket as the pink.
$39.
3 reds, 3 high value colours. That's all that's needed.